Hey guys, what is going on? My name's Tyler McNabb, and this is my YFZ 450R. So, we are out here in a big line of people at what could be considered the happiest place on earth. No, it's not Disney World, but it may be similar because we're waiting in a big old line to get in. But we are out here at Ironman Raceway for the 2023 Ironman GNCC, and so it's going to be a blast. I'm gonna climb up on the truck here real quick, show you guys something maybe a little sketchy. Ugh. But it is currently Thursday morning. We got here Wednesday at like 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna stick the GoPro up in the air and show you guys real quick what this is like. You see all those campers? There are so many people here already. It is absolutely crazy. So, like I said, we got here Wednesday evening about 6 o'clock. We got the Shinkles right behind us. They're right here. The Bairds they were a little bit later. They're a couple rows back. And then we got Ethan Baker and his dad right up here. They got in the line in front of us, so they got here a little bit earlier. But, yeah. It's going to be a great weekend, I can promise you that. So, like I was saying, we got here Wednesday evening, about 6 o'clock, and we are currently sitting in row number 7 of the rows of rigs, and there's about 15 to 20 rigs in each row. So, we're somewhere a little over 100th rig or something, right in there, either close to 100 or 140, somewhere in there. When we went to bed last night around 9:30, there was 10 rows, and when we woke up this morning and went up there and checked, there was 13 rows. So, I mean, they are piling in. The gates usually open around 4 o'clock. Last year when the gates opened, there was about 20 rows, I think, somewhere in there. So, sorry if the camera's shaking. I'm a little cold. It's a little bit chilly. I still got shorts on, so that may be stupid of me, but we got some good rain this morning. As you can see, everything looks nice and damp. It wasn't like super dusty dry here, but it definitely was a little bit dry, and so it rained for about 2 hours this morning. So it's going to saturate really well. I think we may get a little bit more rain this afternoon, but it's definitely not going to make it a mudder or anything like that. But then, yeah, we're just basically waiting to get in, and so once that happens, I will update you guys whenever we head in. So let's get into this video. Good morning, guys. It is Friday morning, the day before race day, and we're out here all set up at the Ironman GNCC. I didn't get with you last night. It was kind of hectic getting in, getting parked, getting everything set up. But yeah, we're all set up. We got our trailer right here. We got the side-by-side, got the quad sitting out here under the canopy. Got Ethan Baker's quad right there. They're camping right here. We got the Bairds, Harrison Baird right over here. We got Riley Wilson right here in this camper. We got Zach Schinkel over there just behind that trailer in their RV. And we're all set up and ready to go. We'll have a whole line of quads sitting out here today. It looks pretty darn good. If you follow me on social media, you would have seen it on Instagram and Facebook, so keep an eye out for that. We got some pancakes going on the grill, got some bacon and sausage cooked up, and it's gonna be a good day. And we got my sister and her husband out here with us. My mom and dad, we're all camping, just a good old family weekend, and yeah, it's gonna be a great time. So I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later today. Oh yeah. Yeah, the line's getting big. I kind of figured it would. It usually moves pretty quick because, I mean, you literally just you literally grab an envelope and leave.
Hello.
McNabb.
McMahon?
McNabb.
McNabb, sorry.
You're good.
Tyler?
Yes.
Do you have a transponder?
No.
Okay, I'm going to take you down here.
Just walk over here.
Go get in line over there.
Okay. Tyler McNabb.
McNabb. Right on top.
Sweet.
Are you renting with cash or card?
Cash.
There you are. You're
Thank Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thanks. Work. Good morning, guys. It is Saturday morning, officially race day, and it is a brisk one. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but you can see my breath. I got a beanie on, got my sweatshirt, got 3 layers on, man. It is chilly. It's a brisk 40, 41 degrees, something like that is what it is this morning, so it's definitely gonna be a chilly one today. We got the old bike all prepped up, ready to go. She's SC1'd up, looking slick. Decided last minute to go gauntlet, Power Mad gauntlets, throw those on because one, just with how cold it is. I'm not concerned about the mud really. We went out and walked some of the track yesterday, and the track itself is really tacky. It's really tacky, so I think track conditions going to be prime. The only thing that worries me is the creeks. The creeks here get really nasty, and when we get any sort of rain, they get pretty deep too. So I decided I'm just gonna go ahead, throw the gauntlets on, try to keep my hands as dry as I possibly can, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a weenie when it comes to my hands. For some reason, I got poor circulation or something in my hands. When it's cold out, my hands just go numb basically. So I've got hand warmers in my pockets right now, trying to keep warm. But yeah, this thing is prepped, ready to go. We got the tires aired up. We got her filled up with gas. We got the 24-volt battery in, gauntlets on. This thing's ready to go. So it's gonna be a heck of a day out here. We got Wade and Jace Walton pulled in last night right next to us. These are some C-Class guys that raced Extreme with me. Zach's camper's back there, but he had his quad up here a minute ago. They were going back to do some prep on it. But overall, it's gonna be a good day. And I don't know if I ever said it or not, but we're gonna be switching up class a little bit this weekend. So you guys know I ran C-Class all year. And normally at Ironman, I would go ahead and just run the corresponding C-Class. But since we're moving up to B-Class next year, we're changing things up a little, and we're running Sportsman B. So it's not in the afternoon, it's not the afternoon B-Class, it's a class in the morning race that's kind of a B-Class. There's no points or anything for it. It's basically the trail rider for B-Class. They also have Sportsman A, which is usually insanely fast for the morning of Ironman. But last year they had 58 riders. It was the biggest class in the AM race, and I'm guessing the turnout is gonna be very similar. So it's definitely gonna be a heck of a day. My goals for the weekend, honestly, last year when I looked at the results, I would have been close to that top 50% in the Sportsman B class already. So my goal is just to maybe be a little bit ahead of that, maybe the top 30% or so in that Sportsman B class, because there's some really fast guys that race it. But then really my main goal is in the overall. So the last couple years I've been right around that top 50% mark for the overall as well. I think last year I was like 275th out of 530, so somewhat close to that top 50% mark. But what I'd like to do this weekend is hopefully break the top 200. That's my plan. Hopefully have a good race, break the top 200, and I'll be happy on the weekend. So with that, yeah, I'm gonna finish getting ready here. We're going to get ready. I'm gonna start getting ready in about 10 minutes because we're gonna head up to the line about 9:15 to make sure we get a good spot on the line. So I will see you guys up there. Okay guys, before I do head up to the line, of course we gotta do a gear check. So what we have here, once again, Fly Racing light gear, looking super fresh. And also a new addition specifically for Ironman. What we have here is the brand new 9-2 Crew breast cancer awareness. If you didn't know, Ironman is a big breast cancer awareness, so you'll see a lot of pink out there. So we got some fresh goggles from 9-2 Crew. These are absolutely sick. Gonna be wearing those out there as well. But other than that, now I will catch you up on the line. Ironman GNCC, baby. Here we go, guys. Okay guys, well, we made it home from the 2023 Ironman GNCC, and man, what a weekend it was. So just kind of a quick recap. Got up there on Wednesday, hung out, gates opened Thursday around 3 o'clock. We got in, got us a good spot, kind of just got our camp set up and everything. Hung out Thursday, Friday, went up, did some tech, got some registration. I took some footage of that stuff just to kind of throw some different stuff in, so hopefully that turned out. We'll see what happens when I go to edit it, but did that on Friday, went through tech, did registration, prepped the bike, just kind of hung out a little bit more. But yeah, and then Saturday morning came and it was officially race time. So luckily it warmed up pretty good. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It's really windy. It was really windy today at Ironman, but so hopefully you guys can hear me fairly decent. Wind noise isn't too bad. Got up there, the sun came out. It warmed up quite a bit. Yeah, it warmed up very quickly, so it didn't end up actually being that cold, which was really nice. And we got out on the track, and man, conditions were absolutely perfect for the most part. I mean, there was a couple nasty sections on the track, but for the most part they were absolutely perfect. So go up to the start line, and I had a little bit of a freak out for a second, because we were sitting there idling, waiting to get to the start line, because the start line normally opens, or to get on the start line, it normally opens 30 minutes before the race, which would be 9:30. So 9:30, we all start up our quads. We're waiting. 10 minutes go by, and the start line still hasn't opened up. We all been waiting, and I look down, and my header is smoking because, and I see that, and then I look up, and my overheat light's on, just sitting there at the start line. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so at that time my fan wasn't on, so I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I shut it off, wait for them to open up the start line, because I thought maybe my fan got unplugged or something weird, and it's not pulling any air. And so we get up on the start line, I look down, and my fan's pulling and my overheat light's off. And so what we figured out, or pretty much what we assumed, was just sitting there and having the furnace filter. So we've got the furnace filter on the front of the quad. It can't pull as much air through just sitting, since the quad wasn't moving, and so that's what caused it to overheat right there, and it puked a little bit of the old antifreeze out, but no harm, no foul. It's all good. So we've brushed that one off, get up to the start line, watch the first couple rows take off, and then they call the 10-second call, and this thing right here, she fired, and she fired good, because we rocketed off the start line. I'm not sure how good my chest protector is going to show it, and unfortunately right now I don't have a good third-person video of the start, but I was dead even with the guy. I started like 3/4 of the way to the outside, because I didn't want to be way inside. And so coming into the first corner, I was pretty much dead even with the inside guy that was leading. So we were jockeying for that first corner, but I was a decent amount outside. So I got a little excited, gonna be honest, and I went way too hard into the first corner, and I went way outside. But honestly, still, I was probably going into the second corner, maybe if I had to guess, maybe 7th or 8th, something like that. There was 45 in my class, so a really good start for a GNCC. Honestly, I can't complain much more. So we get out, we're ripping through the field. I don't think anybody got around us going into the woods, but we got into the woods, and man, this B class pace, she's for real. So yeah, we got going through the woods, we were ripping, and we were doing stuff at speeds that I've never done before, so it was pretty crazy. Plus, this Ironman track is already super fast and flowy, so get out there running the first lap, feeling pretty good. Didn't let too many people around, I don't think. There was a couple people that were really beating on it, trying to get around me, so I went ahead and let them around. I'm not out here for points, and I don't want to be the guy that holds up somebody going for points or anything. So let a couple people around that weren't in my class, and maybe some that were in my class, I think, and was going good, and ran a pretty good first lap. I don't think anything too major came up. Yeah, just relatively smooth first lap. I came through the first lap in 20 something. I'm not sure exactly if I remember right. I think I was in, I can't remember offhand, maybe 29th is what it was. I'm not sure. Came through the first lap in 29th, and so I was just kind of running my race. Second, or no, actually, I think I was up higher. I think I was like 19th or something during the first lap. So I think I was up higher on the first lap, and then was going pretty good on the second lap. And then we got to, there's like a log section that we go through. It's just a bunch of logs piled up, and we kind of weave in between them. And we got to halfway through it, where, you know, it's a one-line thing. There's nowhere you can go, or at least so I thought. And a guy at the front of that little pack, he had passed me earlier, and his machine was smoking, and I'm pretty sure his clutch was slipping like crazy. And he got up right before the exit. There was these two giant logs and real deep ruts that you had to kind of jump over, and his quad would not move. He was beating on the rev limiter, and the thing wouldn't go anywhere. So I'm pretty sure he smoked the clutch on that thing. And so we just sat there. There was nowhere I could go, or so I thought. So we were all kind of sitting there for maybe 20-30 seconds, and then I look back behind me, and the people had kind of found a way to go out around the log pile, get off the log pile, and go out around it. But I couldn't really. I tried to kind of back my quad up, but I couldn't. And so a bunch of people went by, including Charlie. I was in front of Charlie at that point, but he got around me, and he checked out, and he was gone for the rest of the day. But yeah, watched him go by, watched a couple other people go by. And so that really sucked. If I had to guess, we probably sat there for 45 seconds to a minute, somewhere in there, and there wasn't really much I could do. And so they finally got that guy moved out of the way, and we were able to get back going again. So got back going again, and also Jace Walton at that point had just passed me on his 400. So I was riding with him for a little bit, and then he kind of checked out as well. He was moving pretty good. And then finished up the second lap with no other issues other than that delay. Third lap came around. I started to cramp up a little bit. Was getting some good arm pump, and my thumb was even cramping up a little bit, which I hardly ever get. So that was kind of weird. But I'm guessing it's just because this track was so wide open that, I mean, the throttle was basically on the entire time. Like other stuff, you're kind of, other more tighter local tracks, you're kind of blipping the throttle a little bit, kind of on and off. Whereas this one, it was basically, you know, holder wide open. So coming through the third lap was, or after the second lap, I had dropped back to 29th after that delay. So that's when I was in 29th. Come third lap, I was, like I said, feeling it a little bit, kind of cramping up a little, slowing down. I slowed down in some spots, but I was still kind of just trying to go a decent, consistent pace. Come through that lap, I had a couple issues that lap as well. I hit, like, there was a super rutted out spot that got worse and worse every lap. There ended up being a giant rock right in the middle of the ruts, and I smacked the front skid plate, the front of the skid plate on it, and I almost went over the bars at that point. And then I think there was something else that happened that kind of slowed me down that lap, just kind of threw me off my game and slowed me down a little bit. But kept going, came through the end of lap 3 in 24th, I believe. So I'd made up a couple spots there. Headed in, I had the 2-lap card at that point. I had not been lapped by the leaders, which was strange because every time I had run C-Class before, I had already been lapped by the leaders at that point. So hadn't been lapped by the leaders yet. So I had the 2-lap card. I was like, man, I'm either going to end up doing a full 5-lap race, standing on the lead lap, or they're going to lap me sometime soon. So was cruising pretty good. I assumed I would probably get lapped, so I tried to pick it up as much I could, assuming it was my last lap, and went through. And about the 6-mile markers, the leaders finally caught me, and they lapped me. So a little over halfway through the last lap. So they caught me, and once they caught me, I knew it was going to be my last lap, so I tried to hammer down as best I could. And I don't know what the lap times are yet. I'll be interested to see them, because I feel like that 4th lap was probably my second fastest lap. It wasn't quite my... I think my first lap was probably my fastest, but then, yeah, like the second lap, or that 4th lap was probably my second fastest, if I had to guess. I was running pretty good there. So basically just ripping as best I could, trying to maybe pick off a few spots here and there, and hopefully get in that top 200 overall, like I told you guys my goal was. So came through, ended up getting in with Jace Monette and Colton Moran. That last lap, we were cranking out a pace that I don't think I've definitely never done at the very end of a race. So it felt good to ride with those guys. They were moving pretty good, and I felt like I'd never ridden that kind of stuff before, so it felt really good. And overall, it ended up being a pretty good outcome. So I finished out the Ironman GNCC. We've got the old quad here. She finished, and as far as I know, doesn't have any issues. And we were 23rd out of 45 in my class, so I just barely missed that top 50% in class. So congrats to Zach Schinkel. He actually beat me by 1 place. He ended up 22nd, so he just barely cracked that top 50%. So good ride to him. I rode with him for a little bit there. He kind of checked out on me, and then I was catching him just a little bit that last lap. But so if we had a 5th lap, I don't know, maybe I could have caught him, but probably not. But anyway, he was moving good, so he finished 1 place in front of me, and then I ended up 176th out of 477 quads. So I am super happy with the outcome. I met my goal. Well, I met half my goal. I didn't quite finish top 50% in Sportsman B, but I did finally crack the top 200 at Ironman. So I am super pumped about that. That was my biggest goal, is I just wanted to crack that top 200. So overall, it was a great weekend at the races, and like I said, this old girl performed flawlessly. I made some changes, actually, that I don't think I told you guys about. I stiffened up the old stabilizer a little bit, and if you follow me on TikTok, you would have seen me making some caster adjustments, and so I think those 2 things helped me out a decent bit, and then as well as this beautiful B&R Motorsports and Hauser Racing combination suspension, as well as my Adams suspension rear revalve and Hauser rear link. They were soaking up the bumps pretty good, because like I said, the track was absolutely prime. The woods was super smooth, super flowy, hands down my favorite Ironman track that I've ran since I started running it again over the last 4 years. So super happy with how it performed. Definitely need to work on my turn track / open field skills, because I think I lost a lot of time out there just with running the turns and then the braking bumps and all that, but we'll get that figured out for next season. Like I said, I'm super happy, and I've been rambling for 13 minutes at this point, and it's getting really dark, so I'm gonna let you guys go at this point. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I had quite a few people. I met some new people out at the race. Had some people come up to me, say, hey, I watch your videos. So I really do appreciate you guys coming out, watching, saying hey at the track. It's all just a blast. So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one.